season arrives, water shrinks into scattered pools. Jaguars move like ghosts, while caimans lie in invisible ambush. One single mistake, and the hunter becomes the hunted. This is the largest wetland on Earth. Across the sunlit surface of the water, a figure moves, slow, composed, yet commanding. Pantanal is a place where every breath is tied to survival. Here, the strong do not merely hunt, they fight for every moment of existence. Welcome to the silent arena of South America, where life and death walk side by side. If you are passionate about exploring journeys into the wild like this, subscribe now and join us as we venture deeper into the heart of Pantanal. Millions of years ago, the Andes rose from the earth like a long, silent sigh. Ancient rivers were blocked, trapping water within a vast basin, and Pantanal was born. A boundless wetland where change is the only constant. Between floods and droughts, nature endlessly renews itself, forcing every creature to adapt or disappear. Here, life is not given, it is earned. Spanning more than 195,000 square kilometers, Pantanal is 20 times larger than the Everglades. It is home to over 4,700 species, from jaguars and black caimans to vibrant migratory birds. As habitats vanish elsewhere, Pantanal has become a final lifeline for many. All life here moves to the relentless rhythm of two seasons: the flooding rains and the harsh dry months, where a single rainfall can change the fate of an entire species. The rains arrive. 80% of Pantanal sinks beneath the water. Rivers overflow, erasing all boundaries between land and sky. Fish swim through flooded forests. Birds nest atop submerged trees, creating a living symphony of harmony. But when the waters retreat, the scene transforms. The season of trials begins. From the mud, the rulers emerge: jaguars, black caimans, wild foxes. Who will reign over this reborn land? Thunder rolls as the first raindrops fall. Pantanal awakens from a long slumber. Water spreads across the plains, carrying new life with it. Fish dart through murky currents. Birds arrive from distant horizons, and every species prepares for a season of abundance. But this celebration is also an invitation to predators. When life surges at its strongest, survival instincts are tested the hardest. As the waters rise, the surface of the Pantanal River suddenly explodes. A family of giant otters bursts forward like living arrows, tearing through the calm. Fresh waters bring fish, shrimp, and the challenges of the rainy season. This is their busiest time of year. Unlike the silent jaguar or the hidden anaconda, giant otters arrive in a frenzy, like warriors celebrating the start of the hunt. Stretching over 2 meters in length and weighing up to 30 kilograms, giant otters are the ultimate athletes of Pantanal's waters. They swim at speeds of up to 14 kilometers per hour, slicing through the water like silver spears. Yet their true strength lies not in muscle, but in unity. Each family consists of 5 to 10 individuals, led by an alpha pair. Their calls echo, their dives synchronized, an unmistakable declaration of dominance across the waterways. When the leader detects a hidden school of fish, the group instantly takes position. No commands are needed. One glance is enough for everyone to know their role. The young ones wait eagerly, ready for their most true encounter. Suddenly, the water erupts. The alpha surges forward like an arrow, seizing a massive catfish struggling in desperation. The hunt ends in a flash. Amid the shimmering waves, the family feast begins, loud, warm, and filled with pride. The rainy season brings abundant meals, but it also brings danger. Beneath the murky water, the yellow eyes of a black caiman watch in silence, an ancient enemy, always waiting for the smallest mistake. The otter leader sounds the alarm, a sharp call tearing through the surface. The group instantly forms a tight defensive line, small warriors, but fearless. Today, the meal is safe. But in Pantanal, a single moment of distraction can cost a life. These life and death moments keep you holding your breath with every movement. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to continue exploring the next wild journey. As dusk falls, the last light of day paints the water in shades of red. The otter family returns to shore, to a den built from fallen logs and dry grass. The young are carefully guarded, while the leader remains alert, ears raised like radar. Whether floods rise or rivers shrink, they endure together. In the ever-changing Pantanal, family is strength, the one force that carries them through every violent season. Beneath seemingly calm waters, a new battle begins. A school of aggressive piranhas, the nightmare of countless small fish, now faces a true predator. Giant otters charge in, their bites precise and merciless. The piranhas have no time to fight back, defeated by the very weapon they pride themselves on, razor-sharp teeth. When the water settles, the hunter surfaces to claim its prize, while the survivors vanish into the depths in terror. Beneath the murky water, tiny warriors rise. The red-bellied piranha, reaching up to half a meter in length, is infamous for jaws as sharp as steel gates. Emerging from rocky crevices, the school instantly displays its lethal weapon, interlocking teeth capable of tearing flesh apart in seconds. The black piranha, with its glowing red eyes, stands as the undisputed champion, its bite force many times greater than its body weight, precise and chillingly brutal. Beneath their ferocious image, piranhas serve an unexpected role, the silent cleaners of Pantanal. They readily consume carcasses, sick fish, and drifting remains, keeping the waters clean and preventing the spread of disease. During the rainy season, when rising waters bring an abundance of organic debris, this army becomes the ecosystem's doctors. Piranhas are truly dangerous only when provoked or drawn by the scent of blood. Otherwise, they are simply the river's custodians. Hard to believe, but sometimes these river warriors appear in home aquariums. In some places, red-bellied piranhas are kept as pets, symbols of power and boldness. Yet keeping them requires a deep understanding of their wild instincts. They should never be kept in pairs, as they will attack each other. They are safest alone or in large groups. Despite their reputation as killers, Piranhas rarely harm humans, unless provoked, starving, or triggered by the scent of blood in the water. Within Pantanal's cycle of survival, piranhas are an essential link. They regulate small fish populations, remove carcasses, and keep the waters clean, helping maintain balance in this fragile ecosystem. Beneath the calm surface, these small warriors symbolize adaptation, fierce and resilient, yet necessary and beneficial. In Pantanal, no species is merely predator or prey. Each is part of an endless rhythm of life. Beneath Pantanal's murky waters, a massive dark shape glides in silence. No haste, no display. But when it strikes, no creature escapes. This is the anaconda, the legendary symbol of South America's wetlands. Reaching up to 8 meters in length and weighing over 100 kilograms, it moves like living water. Do not be deceived by its calm. Within every constriction lies the ruthless instinct of a born killer. The anaconda's greatest weapon is not fangs or venom, but absolute stillness. Its mottled skin blends into the mud, rendering it nearly invisible in the swamp. It does not chase, it waits. Tiny eyes rise above the surface, tracking every movement. When the moment comes, it strikes like lightning. With a constriction force reaching up to 90 pounds per square inch, it cuts off blood flow, causing prey to collapse within minutes. A ruthless art, terrifyingly perfect. Pantanal is the anaconda's ideal kingdom, where rivers, mud, and jungle merge into a living maze. As waters rise, it expands its territory, sliding through reeds in search of the careless. Yet this ruler does not hunt constantly. A single large meal, perhaps a capybara or a large bird, can sustain it for weeks, even months. After feeding, it retreats into silence, patient, slow, but ever watchful within these dangerous waters. Behind its frightening image, the anaconda plays an essential role in the local food chain. It removes weak and sick prey, helping the population remain healthier. In this wild world, even a ruler becomes a guardian of balance, an important link in the cycle of life. Because in Pantanal, there are no villains or heroes, only creatures fulfilling their roles so nature can continue to survive. Amid the rustling leaves after the season's first rain, tiny footsteps gently stir the damp ground. A band of coatis, Pantanal's little explorers. Beneath the dense canopy, their tails stand tall like black and white flags, swaying in the sunlight. The lead animal guides the way, sniffing constantly, as if reading an invisible map spread across the earth. Every step they take is a fresh breath for the forest after the flood season. As the group begins its journey, the forest seems to wake. One climbs a rotting trunk, scratching the bark for insects. Another springs up to pick ripe fruit, nimble like an acrobat. The young trot behind, awkward, yet curious. Above, a pair of toucans watches, waiting for the coatis to drop a few sweet fruits. Below, piraputanga fish scatter at the noise. Every small movement helps stir the forest into a lively rhythm across Pantanal. Coatis are not just wanderers, they are also silent seed planters. Along every path, they spread seeds from the fruits they eat, leaving new life embedded in the wet soil. Soon, shoots rise, becoming palm trees, thickets, and shade. Thanks to that, the hyacinth macaw finds shelter, capybaras find food, and Pantanal continues to recover. With their small footsteps, the coatas keep the wild's eternal rhythm alive. In Pantanal's unending cycle, small animals like coatis are quiet links in the chain of life. But within this lively melody, danger is always hiding. A slight movement in the brush, a jaguar. Instantly, the coatas cluster together, forming a protective circle around the young. Alarm calls ring out, tearing through the canopy. When the hunter retreats, the rhythm slowly returns. The coatis move on again, climbing, digging through leaves, adding their cheerful beat to Pantanal's endless symphony. Over winding rivers and vast flooded forests, another creature rules its own domain, the harpy eagle. From above, it watches in silence, like the spirit of the sky. With a wingspan over 2 meters, it glides through the air like a gray ghost, without a sound. Sharp eyes sweep the canopy, searching for signs of life. Below, capuchin monkeys play carelessly, unaware that death is watching from above. A young monkey strays from the group, distracted by ripe fruit. And in a single careless second, its fate is sealed. The harpy folds its wings and dives from 30 meters high, reaching nearly 80 kilometers per hour. No sound, only a rush of wind. 13-centimeter talons clamp down, strong as steel, lifting the prey off the ground. Panicked cries echo through the treetops. But for the harpy, the hunt lasts less than a single breath. Back at the nest atop the tallest tree, the harpy lands softly. 2 chicks greet their mother eagerly, eyes shining. This is not just a meal, it is their first lesson in survival. As ruler of the skies, the harpy plays a vital role in Pantanal's balance, controlling populations of sloths, monkeys, and large birds. With eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's and talons strong enough to crush bone, the harpy is also a creature of patience, able to retreat after a failed hunt and wait for another chance to continue the endless cycle of survival. On another day, the harpy spots a sloth moving slowly along a thick branch. It dives, fast and precise, unaware that below, a black caiman is also stalking. In an instant, air and water erupt together, the harpy from the sky, the caiman from the depths, 2 killers colliding over the same prey. Sky and swamp crash into each other, creating a rare moment where the line between power and survival becomes one. The rains have ended. Pantanal's sky turns clear, yet merciless. The rainy season rivers are now reduced to shallow pools, surrounded by cracked mud. Heat shimmers over the ground, making the air feel heavy, as if it's burning. Every creature fights for the most precious resource: water. For many species, this is the decisive moment between life and death. The dry season is not an ending. It is a test of endurance and the ability to adapt. Isolated ponds remain, grasslands burn yellow, and the forests grow bare. The familiar scent of moisture fades, replaced by the scorched smell of dry earth. Herds of animals gather around the last remaining waterholes, places of survival and battle alike. In the suffocating heat, all rules dissolve. Primitive instincts rise, and only the law of the strong remains. Amid the blazing landscape, a golden figure moves slowly. The jaguar, the silent hunter of Pantanal, returns to the stage. Each powerful step presses deep into the dried mud, its tail gently swaying for perfect balance. Rosette-patterned fur blends with the scorched grass, making it vanish from sight. Amber eyes scan the cracked land, waiting for the moment when nature falls silent, so death can speak. In the shimmering heat, the jaguar spots its target. A capybara separated from the group, absorbed in drinking. It lowers itself, every muscle coiled, waiting. Pantanal seems to hold its breath. Only cicadas and pounding heartbeats remain. The jaguar moves like a shadow, silent, certain. Each step is a curse, and when the prey takes one step too far, the hunter explodes, unleashing the storm of power held back for so long. In just seconds, the 6-meter gap vanishes. The jaguar surges forward at nearly 60 kilometers per hour, claws digging into cracked earth. One powerful leap, and it's on the prey. A bite force exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inch crushes the capybara's neck. No screams, no chaos. Everything ends in the blink of an eye. The jaguar drags the body into the shade, where only breath and dust remain. The scent of blood spreads, drawing black vultures overhead. But from the brush, another presence emerges, a younger jaguar, eyes burning with hunger. It is not seeking prey, but opportunity. In the dry season, territory is worth more than gold, and this is a challenge. The older jaguar growls low, thunder rolling in its chest. The younger one does not retreat. In a thirsty Pantanal, power is the one thing that cannot be shared. The clash erupts like a sandstorm. Two massive bodies collide, claws and fangs slamming together. Dust fills the air, roars echo through the dry forest. Experience and strength favor the seasoned fighter. It delivers a crushing bite to the shoulder. The younger jaguar flees, carrying wounds and its first taste of rivalry. The older jaguar stands still, breath heavy, eyes blazing. It has defended the last territory with water. By day, it rests beneath the trees, waiting for the heat to pass. But when the sun sets, the jaguar becomes the spirit of darkness. Every creature seeks shelter, while it hunts. With superior scent and night-piercing vision, the jaguar glides silently over the dry ground. In Pantanal's night world, those golden eyes are the last lights its prey ever sees. Pantanal jaguars are true warriors. Unlike their Amazonian relatives, they must adapt to both water and fire, to drought and mud. When waters recede, they hunt not only on land, but also dive into rivers, confronting black caimans weighing hundreds of kilograms. Their terrifying bite force and exceptional swimming ability turn them into living legends, creatures that walk between two worlds, land and water. But strength is not only muscle. The jaguar is the soul of Pantanal, a symbol of balance. By hunting the weak, it keeps populations healthy. In indigenous cultures, the jaguar is a guardian spirit, watching the boundary between humans and nature. It is believed its gaze can see the intentions of any intruder. When the jaguar disappears, Pantanal loses its very soul. The sun sets over cracked land, casting orange light across golden fur. The jaguar stands still, listening to Pantanal's breathing. Though harsh, This land remains alive, thanks to resilient beings like it. The jaguar, the king without a throne, needs no crown to prove its power. It is a symbol of strength, patience, and pure instinct, an immortal spirit at the wild heart of South America. When the jaguar departs, Pantanal is never truly at peace. Beneath the murky water, another king awakens, the caiman, the lord of the aquatic world. With more than 10 million individuals, they form the largest crocodilian population on Earth. Reaching up to 3.5 meters long, their olive green skin blends into the silt, rendering them nearly invisible. They do not rely on speed, because the caiman's true weapon is deadly patience. In a shallow pool, a school of fish thrashes in desperation. Below them, the caiman's yellow eyes watch in silence. No movement, no breath. Then, suddenly, a thunderous snap. Jaws slam shut with a bite force exceeding 2,000 pounds per square inch, crushing the largest fish. Seconds later, the surface turns calm again, leaving only fading ripples. In the caiman's kingdom, everything happens in silence and ends in silence. In the heart of the dry season, every remaining pool becomes contested territory. An adult caiman crawls through the mud, head raised, releasing a deep, drum-like warning call. From afar, another answers. They move closer, tails swinging, throats swelling. The display of dominance begins. Sometimes, this is enough. No blood needs to be spilled. A single, resonant roar can define the boundary. But when warnings are ignored, violence becomes inevitable. Two caimans collide, tails whipping violently as water and mud explode into the air. Thick, armor-like scales absorb each bite, the clashes echoing beneath the blazing sun. Eventually, the weaker one retreats, leaving a long scar carved into the dry mud. Pantanal falls silent again, but the wound on the land remains, a lasting reminder of power. Caimans are not just predators, they are gatekeepers of the ecosystem. They consume carcasses and sick prey, cleaning the waters and maintaining healthy populations. Even jaguars must be cautious when entering aquatic territory. A single tail strike from a caiman can drive away large predators. Yet within this closed food chain, caiman juveniles fall prey to jaguars, creating a perfect balance between land and water. When water recedes to near exhaustion, caimans disappear, not because they die, but because they hide. They burrow deep into moist mud, slowing their heart rate to just a few beats per minute, entering a long sleep through the drought. It is survival mastery, hibernation within a mud desert. Then one day, the first seasonal rains fall, the ground cracks open, and these silent warriors rise again, carrying the breath of renewal. If the jaguar represents power and speed, the caiman embodies timeless calm. It does not compete, it waits for the right moment, and always prevails. Beneath Pantanal's seemingly still surface, another king is always watching, quietly preserving order. In a world where water, fire, and mud coexist, patience is the ultimate weapon. The dry season turns Pantanal into a brutal battlefield. Beneath damp mud, the anaconda still sleeps, waiting for the water's return. But across the cracked land, another creature proves strength in a very different way. The capybara, the world's largest rodent. Over a meter long and weighing up to 50 kilograms, they lack claws or speed to fight. Their only and most powerful weapon is unity. Alone, a capybara is vulnerable. But within a group, they become nearly untouchable. Each herd numbers between 10 and 30 individuals, sometimes more than 50 during the dry season. A few always stand guard while others feed or rest. At a single signal, the entire group plunges into the water, the safest refuge. Capybaras are excellent swimmers, gliding smoothly thanks to the webbing between their toes. Yet beneath those seemingly calm waters, black caimans still lie in wait. On land, capybaras and caimans sometimes bask side by side, a scene of peace that seems almost impossible. But that calm is as fragile as morning mist, ready to collapse into chaos at any moment. Capybaras survive through extraordinary adaptation, feeding on dry grass, roots, even re-ingesting their own droppings to extract every possible nutrient. In a world of scarcity, this is not grotesque, it is survival perfected. In the sweltering midday heat, a capybara herd rests beside a shallow pool, a few standing guard. A faint sound. Jaguar. It moves like a shadow, every step calculated. Suddenly, an alarm call rings out. The entire herd charges into the water, erupting into a storm of white spray. The jaguar stops, watching patiently. This time, the prey escapes. In Pantanal, the strongest does not always win. Survival belongs to those who stand together. Capybaras, gentle and unhurried, are vital links in Pantanal's ecosystem. They control vegetation, fertilize the soil through their waste, and help plant life recover when the rains return. Without claws or fangs, they still sustain nature's balance in their own way, calm and persistent. In a world ruled by predators, sometimes composure itself is the greatest strength. Capybara, the symbol of peace amid storms of survival. As dusk falls, Pantanal's sky glows red like embers. Cracked earth reflects the day's final golden light. Jaguars and caimans still hold their thrones, but in the shadows, another warrior moves. Small, silent, yet resolute. The bush dog, known in Spanish as cachorro vinagre. Its reddish-brown coat blends with dry soil, while bright eyes glimmer in the fading light, a symbol of quiet resilience in the wild. Unlike their Amazonian relatives, Pantanal bush dogs are compact, only about 25 centimeters tall and less than 75 centimeters long. But size is deceiving. They move in packs, coordinating like an elite unit. The leader guides the way, ears erect, eyes are scanning every shadow. In a land where earth and water collide, adaptation is life itself, and the bush dog is living proof of that extraordinary survival skill. With webbed feet, bush dogs swim as skillfully as otters. They glide through shallow water without leaving a trace. Keen hearing and scent allow them to hunt even in flooded terrain. While other animals cluster around shrinking pools, bush dogs move between land and water, where no one expects them. In Pantanal, they are masters of two worlds, small enough to disappear, smart enough to survive. The bush dog's true strength lies in unity. Packs of 3 to 12 individuals operate like a perfectly tuned machine. The leader sets direction, while others respond to short, dry growls, a coded language of their own. Without brute strength or fangs, they rely on collective intelligence. In a world ruled by the strong, bush dogs prove that victory sometimes belongs to those who trust one another. As darkness falls, Pantanal sheds its skin once more. Dry leaves rustle. A jaguar approaches. The bush dogs shift their rhythm, silent, retreating deep into the forest, moving like shadows. They know they cannot fight, but they know how to survive. As night settles, the forest awakens. Frogs call. Nocturnal birds sing. In this scene, bush dogs emerge again, steady as Pantanal's heartbeat, quiet, yet relentless. Bush dogs charge through mud without fear or hesitation. The name Cacoro vinagre, vinegar dog, comes from their strong, distinctive scent, a signature of small yet fearless hunters. In folklore, they are symbols of unity and perseverance. In Pantanal, strength is not measured only by claws and teeth, but by courage. Bush dogs may not be kings, but they are warriors who never retreat. Parched Pantanal reaches its breaking point. Then thunder roars, like divine judgment. The first raindrop falls, merging with the soil, awakening the sleeping land. Fish leap from the water, breathing in new life. The scent of wet earth spreads like a hymn of gratitude rising to the sky. The rain grows heavier, and Pantanal dons a new skin once more. Full rivers once again play their ancient song. Giant otters swim and play, each dive a praise to creation. Jaguars move slowly across soft mud, surveying a reborn territory. Grass returns, trees leaf out, and Pantanal resumes its primal rhythm. The rainy season marks the dawn of a new era, the era of life, where those once silent now sing. From afar, a clear call cuts through the rain. It is the greeting of the hyacinth macaw, the largest parrot in the world. Deep blue wings spread wide, shimmering with golden light around the eyes and beak. More than 75% of their population lives here, in this vast wetland. When they take flight, Pantanal seems brighter, as if illuminated by the endless blue of the sky. Hyacinth macaws crush palm nuts as hard as steel, something few species can do. Every wing beat is a dance step, every call a chord echoing between sky and earth. They fly in pairs, circling through the air, searching for ripe fruit while communicating with piercing calls. Against the radiant sky, those blue wings become symbols of joy and freedom in Pantanal. While searching for palm fruit, the macaws unknowingly scatter seeds across the land. Each seed that falls onto moist soil can sprout, growing into a new tree, offering shade and shelter to countless species. Through those wings, Pantanal is constantly reborn. They are silent cedars, linking life between rainy and dry seasons, ensuring this land never truly dies, only waits to live again. Young trees rise, painting Pantanal's forest green once more. Hyacinth macaws swoop down to harvest fruit, while capybaras lift their heads to listen to the calls. Toucans join the feast, unknowingly continuing the work of seed dispersal. Amid this vibrant symphony, the macaws shine as keystone seed spreaders. small wings capable of reshaping entire forests. They mate for life, preening and caring for one another. Simple gestures filled with devotion and loyalty. The rainy season is also the season of birth. High in the hollow of a palm tree, hyacinth macaws build their nest. After 30 days of incubation, chicks open their gray eyes, fed sweet fruit by devoted parents. 3 months later, they take their first flights, merging with the blue sky. One call rings out, another seed falls, and a new life begins. The cycle of renewal continues, from wings, from sound, from the very heart of Pantanal. The sounds of life spread across Pantanal. High above, monkeys leap through the canopy, nimble hands searching for ripe fruit. One falls into the river, and piraputanga fish instantly surge upward to seize the sweet gift. Their connection, perfect and miraculous. On branches, toucans with orange beaks swoop in to collect leftovers. Farther away, capybaras circle in search of scraps. In Pantanal, nothing is wasted. Everything joins the chorus of life. Amid the lively melody, tense notes still emerge. Capuchin monkeys freeze, ears alert. The rustle is wrong. A golden shape slips from the brush. A jaguar. Its eyes burn as it scans the canopy. Alarm calls erupt. The monkeys cling tight, vanishing upward. Toucans take flight. Capybaras change course. The jaguar stops, unsuccessful, yet patient. In Pantanal, even predators learn to wait as part of life's rhythm. When danger fades, the forest sings again. Capuchins resume foraging, young clinging playfully to their mothers' backs. Below, piraputanga fish wait once more for fallen fruit. Pantanal restores its familiar rhythm, seemingly calm, yet always alert. Life here never stops. It only shifts, renews, and awaits the next cycle. In Pantanal, every creature understands. To exist is to keep singing through the storm. Pantanal, the largest wetland paradise on Earth. Once a perfect symphony of forest, river, and sky, where life surged with every breath. Spanning over 42 million acres, larger than the United Kingdom, it is one of Earth's greatest biological treasures. But today, that paradise has become a battleground. Over the past 50 years, Pantanal has lost 17% of its area, more than 33,000 square kilometers, a deepening wound across its body. In 2024, Pantanal faced the most severe drought in human memory. Rainfall dropped by 35%. Temperatures rose by 2.1 degrees Celsius. Cold numbers with devastating force. Rivers ran dry, riverbeds exposed, the ground cracking like burned skin. The once green paradise became a parched land where predator and prey shared the same fate. Nature seems to be crying out for help, but its voice is still drowned out by the machinery of humankind. Pantanal's chain of survival is cracking. Caimans crowd into shrinking pools, and young die of hunger in a land that was once abundant. In the sky, the hyacinth macaw, the soul of Pantanal's heavens, loses its fruiting palms, and the population drops by 15% in just a few years. In the rivers, piraputanga decline by 25% in a decade. leaving giant otters and water birds starving. When one link breaks, the entire web of life begins to tremble. Drought turns Pantanal into a vast field of tinder. A single spark from a farm can be enough to burn an entire forest. In 2023, more than 2,500 fires were recorded in just half a year, nearly a 1,000% increase over the previous year. 372,000 hectares of forest and grassland turned to ash, an area comparable to the entire city of Madrid. From above, Pantanal is no longer a green painting, but a map of blackened scars. Walls of fire swallow the jaguars' territory. The apex ruler is now pushed toward human settlements, facing the risk of being shot while searching for a way to survive. Over the past 3 years, 10% of its hunting grounds have burned. The cubs, the most fragile, rarely make it through the brutal dry season. Through smoke and flame, the jaguar's silhouette still appears, a proud symbol struggling to hold on to nature's last remaining ground. And the giant otter, symbol of Pantanal's rivers, is slowly disappearing. Waters clouded with ash and sediment leave them no place to hunt. The population has dropped by 25% in just a few years. Otter families abandon their territories, drifting through a hopeless struggle for survival. At the same time, 6,500 square kilometers of forest have been cut down to make room for soy and cattle, severing migration corridors for countless species. Paradise is now fractured by our hands. Bush dogs, Pantanal's elite hunters, are now scattered, lost in forests torn apart. Without their packs, they lose their greatest strength, coordination. Above, the toucan, its bright orange bill, once a symbol of the green forest, also begins to vanish. With too few old trees for nesting, chick numbers decline sharply. One call at a time, one pair of wings at a time, Pantanal is losing the sound of itself. The very source of life that once nourished Pantanal has become a threat. Rivers filled with agricultural and mining chemicals fuel thick algal blooms that strip away oxygen. 85% of water sources have been affected. Piraputanga, an essential link, suffer a steep drop in reproductive success. Otters, water birds, young caimans, all share the same fate. Sacred rivers that once served as nature's lifeblood are now gasping inside poisoned water. Pantanal is a gift the Creator sent to Earth, a place where people can see His work revealed in every living creature. Yet amid drought, wildfires, and greed, there are still resilient hearts fighting to protect life. It is a journey of faith and hope as humanity and nature still search for a way to coexist. The Pantanal Matogrossense Reserve, vast and peaceful, has become a refuge for disappearing species. From jaguars and giant otters to hyacinth macaws, all are sheltered within a landscape struggling to recover. Sesc Pantanal, the largest private reserve in Brazil, does not only protect wildlife, it also nurtures knowledge, a place where people learn to understand and heal this fragile land. On blackened ground, tiny green sprouts rise again. Each young palm planted is a prayer for the future. Thousands of native trees are being restored across Pantanal. Reforestation projects bring hope, not only for the hyacinth macaw, which needs forest to thrive, but for the very soul of the land. The Creator's power is shown most clearly not in ancient giants, but in small seedlings brave enough to return. Technology has become nature's ally. Satellites track wildfires, sensors monitor rivers, and local communities are trained for sustainable conservation. Every data point, every pair of hands, every act of will contributes to a larger mission, protecting the Creator's work. Pantanal does not belong only to Brazil. It is a shared gift to all humankind. USAID. The Brazilian government and local communities are working together to restore this great wetland. Through these efforts, giant otter numbers have risen by 25% over a decade, a testament to the power of belief. When we act with love and responsibility, nature responds. Because Pantanal is not only a home for wildlife, it is a mirror reflecting our own souls. Pantanal, the land between heaven and hell, still calls out. Protecting it is not only about saving an ecosystem, it is about protecting what makes us human: life, compassion, and faith. If you can hear that call, tell others, and take action. Every share, every act becomes a note in the symphony of renewal. So Pantanal and Earth may continue to echo the song of life.